Hello, everybody. I'll be uploading this on the 22nd when I upload this. But I wanted to make a video talking about, where am I at? Not not physically, but where am I at in my life? Um, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? I also wanted to talk about just van life in general, and doing it with a cat is definitely, I'm sure, something that a lot of people want to hear about. So, I had done some, a good amount of traveling um, before, previously in my life, and just adventuring in general, and seeking out adventure. Not exactly a adrenaline junkie, really. I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I love having adventures and being put into challenging situations, new situations, um, things that challenge me and um, that keep me moving and distracted, and kind of brings me down to earth to be traveling in a way where it's not luxury, where you kind of have to do things the tough way, but it's good, and that's what I like. So that's what brought me to van life, right? Is that I wanted to be able to travel inexpensive and just run along with the bare minimum, and kind of detach myself from a lot of the luxuries that have came with my life, and just live life for what it is, right? I mean, when you're 1,000 miles away in a new city in a van, I mean, just sleeping there and cooking ramen for every dinner. That's actually not true. I eat very good, actually. I do a lot of canned soups. That's my main thing. But when you're living like that, and you aren't real. I mean, I go out to some restaurants in towns that I pass through, on occasion, like a little treat. But always local things, always doing it more for the experience than for the luxury of the food. But yeah, once that's what brought me to van life, is wanting to live humbly, right, and get rid of some of the complications in my life. Because who needs them? I saved up money for a long time, and at this point, I have enough. I'm not wealthy, rich, but I have enough that I can definitely get by and be comfortable in this van. So I'm really loving it so far. I mean, I can't even tell you guys the wonderful people that I've already met in this short amount of time that I've been on the road. I've met some really cool people who are watching, and they know who they are. I've had a lot of great opportunities to help people and to do good. And just really trying to live in the moment, right? And being mindful. Some of you who know me might know that I'm a bit of a practicing Buddhist, which I won't talk too much about. But one of the big things is being mindful and aware of what's actually going on. Not just living your life with your head up your butt. Kind of not living your life with that veil over your eyes of all your problems in life and just your everyday struggles. Just kind of lifting that and realizing, right, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So I felt like my life was sort of sitting too still, too stagnant for me. I don't mind working at all. In fact, I enjoy working with my hands, but sometimes I really didn't I wasn't too fond of the of just sometimes it felt like I should be doing something bigger or more meaningful to me. So after I got unemployed, I said, to hell with it. Like I'm gonna adventure and I'm gonna do it up. Because like I said, we only have one life to live, right? So that brings me to, I will pause this video, turn it around. I don't know why Apple doesn't let you just flip around the camera, but I'll be right back. Okay, so I want to show off my van. It is a little bit in disarray. I tried to clean up for this video, but so here we have a working sink, and it does not always tip like this. Actually, it just it's only doing that because I had it kind of, I can pull it out with the tube underneath it, and I was using it for something. But running water, right? Just drains down into, so this is a mixing bowl that I put on top of this cabinet. I got this cabinet for at a discount outlet. This countertop right here is just a piece of pine plywood that I just put a varnish on so that it was a little bit waterproof. It's definitely not perfect by any means. But this is kind of, it's a mess down here, but the way that it works, you can see my towels behind. I have a 5-gallon jug. The 5-gallon jug goes up through this tube into that pump. And this is just a pump off Amazon. Maybe I can make a link for it or something like that. But it's very good, actually. It's a micro USB, so it charges right on the back. It's got its own water pump and it's a faucet, and both built into one. So it's pretty good. That all drains down into this 5-gallon bucket that I just empty. That's my gray water, they call it. And it's kind of got a little latch and some magnets on to keep it from flying open. So here, I've got some nice little flooring in it. And this is, it's very simple. It's got paneling on the sides, insulation underneath it. You can see some of this, that's called Reflectix, sticking out. And a lot of people say that it's really kind of redundant to use. But I have an air gap underneath it, which is what, you need for Reflectix to be good. I also used, let's see, can you see it? I also used a lot of spray foam. I just bought a case of spray foam and sprayed it into all the nooks and crannies that I could. And then on places where I was able, I put actual sheets of blocks of insulation, kind of that foam with foil on both sides. And so the ceiling is insulated like that, and so are the walls. It's really not too pretty, but it works. Hey, and it works great, really. So there's just my little shelf. This is where I keep Lola's litter box. And this is my bed, storage underneath the bed. Nothing too fancy. For power, this is it. This is a battery. Oh, it's a little out of focus, but this is a battery called the Jackery. And it's really good. It's just a portable power source. I can run a fan off of it. If it gets too hot, I can run charging. Obviously, I do all my charging off of it. And it's very... And here's the real star of the show. Oh, Lola, come here. Hi. So this is Lola. A lot of you who are friends with me might know her. Or family members know her, but if it's been a while since you talked to me, yeah, I got this cat, and she came into my life as a stray cat, and I just wanted to I really loved her. She was so, so, so nice. Um, and I got her back to her original owners, and they had adopted another cat. Um, so they didn't have space for old Lola here. And once they said, "Are like, can you take the cat?" I just said yes. Like I was just like yes, because even though the whole time I was freaking out because right, I'm going. My plan is to live in a van, right? So my plan is to live in a van, and now I just accepted a cat, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to work? Like, I really was super, super nervous about it, and I spent a lot of time getting Lola used to walking on a leash, right? Um, and I'm gonna probably do another different video specifically about that because I could talk for another 20 minutes just about getting your cat on the leash and walking your cat on the leash. But Lola was just naturally the sweetest cat, and she just loves human contact. And I think she has a bit of separation anxiety, is how I maybe feel, because once you leave, she's very, very vocal about wanting you to come back. Um, so she's my best friend. She's my companion. Um, but thing is, with the litter box, right? I mean, it's kind of gross to some people, maybe, that I am always in a locked room with a litter box. But here's the thing: two things to keep in mind is one, I don't ever let stuff sit in there. I mean, no longer than a day would anything be in there, and that would be because maybe I didn't notice, right? So I am very on the ball of keeping it clean. And maybe people have been lying to spare my feelings, but I ask people, does it smell like cat piss in here? They say no. So hopefully they're being honest and not being nice. But I keep Lola's, you can see right there, right, that I have it just bungee cord, and I actually use these cedar pellets, and those cedar pellets are great because they don't. Well, first they're really good for scent control, but they don't track, like normal litter. So there isn't litter all over here. So it's a very good thing the way it worked out. And she's amazing. She does not try at all to run out the van doors. I've had it happen once or twice where she tries to sneakily get out. And I mean, as you guys saw in my first video, we can go for hikes that are miles. So I try and do a good hike that's, a couple miles maybe. I try and do stuff like that every day if I can, right? Because it sucks to be stuck in just this little box for her. But yeah, I mean, I try and hike as often as I can. And the way I see it is, I think a lot of people are like, oh, wow, you're just like dragging the cat along. But this is really probably the most stimulating life that she could have, right? Because we're going for walks every day in beautiful, beautiful places. And she gets to see all these new things. She gets to, when you think of cats who are just in apartments all day, which, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how people keep cats. But I just think, personally, she gets to go out and see new things all the time. And that can definitely be overwhelming for cats. But we take it slow. She gets used to it. And like you guys saw, she walks with me. She's great. And she gets very good stimulation, a lot of good play. And I feed her the nicest food ever. Right? I spend like a lot of my money on Lola's food. Like a lot. Compared to my food, I mean, shoot, probably not, but I probably eat for like all this stuff. I can buy a lot of that junk for the price of that I pay for Lola's food for like a month, right? Probably like, I don't know. I think I spend like, I think last time it was like $80 or $90 that I spent a month. But it's worth it. I used to work at a pet food store, and they can put some really nasty stuff into your pet's food. So if you have a cat, I guess I would recommend wet food, because especially if you're going to travel with a cat, because that is a great way to keep them hydrated. Because otherwise, they don't really like they don't really like to drink water that much, or at least Lola doesn't. So I'm Andrew. That's Lola. Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on everything that goes on, and yeah, we'll just keep you guys updated. So thanks to everybody who subscribed, who liked, who watched, commented. Awesome. Thank you, you guys. And we will check in when we have something to check in about.